part 2 of my video. The number one way to move through life is not by wanting something, not by simply wanting something, but by taking action, right? And so now you may ask yourself, right? So a lot of people are lost because when people tell you to take action, what action should you take, right? And the answer is, in most cases, any action, right? But what does any action imply? Are you going to do the same action in general? Is that going to make a difference? Or are you just going to, it could be any action, it's specific. So I'm going to tell you this. This is what has worked for me. This is how I've seen change. This is how I've seen motivation. This is how I've been able to come up with ideas that have turned into strategies that I'm currently applying on my life, right? Things, all fruit stems from taking this action in particular. And that is changing your environment. You cannot want something, right? Like I said, you're not compelled to do, you're not compelled to change, you're not compelled to make any big decisions until something external or something with a really strong force pulls you to do that, right? And so that's the extent of which we need something to compel us to the extent at which it is a necessity, right? So you need to change. You have no option. If you are in a different environment, you have no option but to change, or else you will not fit in that environment, right? You have to put yourself in a situation of survival almost, right? Where it is life or death. I have no other option. And let me tell you what, that is where you're going to be making a big change. Of course, you want to place yourself in the right environment. You want to place yourself in an environment that's going to motivate you. You don't want to go to a city, for example, that for example, has nothing, no opportunities, nothing that you can resonate with. You want to go somewhere that inspires you. You want to pick the right place, for example. This is why they say that you should move out of your hometown. I completely agree with that. That's what I did at a very young age, or not a very young age. I'm 21 is when I did it, right? And I considered it, but I've also done it, well, a few times. I've gone to different environments just for that same sake beforehand. And I've just traveled just so I can be more productive. And why? Because I've traveled to places and seen different places, some of which inspire me, some of which don't. And I've found a place, an environment that inspires me to change, makes it a necessity for me to adapt. And for example, the reason why I'm making this video right now is because I just saw an R8 drive past me. And this happens every day, literally. I think 5 seconds before I started filming this video, an R8 just boom, right after I finished making the first part of this video. So if you want to take action, the number one action that you have to take is to change your environment. That's the easiest thing you can do. That doesn't mean that you have to move out of your hometown too. Change your environment in the current moment, right? What can you do right now to change your environment? You're bored, you're unmotivated. Right fucking now, do it. Don't be a bitch. Do it. Fucking get in your car, drive somewhere random, go to the fucking gym, right? Even if you're not working, go to the gym, man. Go lift some fucking weights, bro. Go clear your mind. Or go to Starbucks and don't even take a computer. Just take a journal and a pen. Either of those necessities. You're in the gym. You're gonna be forced to do hard work. You're gonna be forced to do weights because you have other people. You're not gonna just stand there like a fucking idiot in the gym, are you? Right? No, of course not. You're gonna be forced to work out. You're gonna be forced to bring out within you the thing that shows what you're capable of physically. And if you go to Starbucks without a laptop, without anything that can entertain you, leave your fucking phone. Seriously, go to Starbucks, leave your phone, and you will see how ideas will start to spring to your head. And soon enough, all the contents of your mind will be on that paper. And then you can dissect them, then you can elaborate and expand them. And that's how you start formulating your life. And when you're in Starbucks, you're not just going to go and sit there and fucking coffee. You have to if you go to that environment, for example, you see other people that are working, you're not going to just sit there like a fucking idiot. You have to do something productive. You're forcing yourself to do these things, right? This is what you have to do. As soon as you start taking those sort of actions, that's when you start seeing big change, because that first action will create a series of chain reactions. And so then next thing you know, you'll be doing things that inspire you even more. And so why? Because that one day, like a week ago, you sat down at Starbucks, you thought, you weren't entertained, all you had to do was think, and you were forced to think. Because you're forced to think, you found something else that compels you, right? So it's jumping from one environment that compels you to something else that compels you. And now that doesn't have to be the environment that compels you again. Now what can compel you is a really strong motivation from an idea, a really strong motivation that was created from an idea that you thought there at Starbucks. Or what compels you, for example, is that you've realized that your life is shit because you've had an hour to sit down with a pen and paper and realize that introspectively, because you didn't have that time, because you didn't take action before that. You didn't realize until you finally got a journal and put things in words, and you saw and you realized that, man, something has to fucking change. And so now you're compelled to change. You have no option. So and once you start making change, let's say now you're inspired by that idea, right? I'm going to show you how this series of change can go about your life, how just taking one action can spring up and make you successful. I'm being serious, right? So let's say now you thought, you sat at that Starbucks, you thought about what you could do with your life, and now you're compelled to do so. Maybe that's only going to last like a few days, for example. That motivation might last a few days. So now you're going to take action on that thing that is compelling you. You got to keep taking action, man. Now you say, okay, my life is shit. What can I do? I need to do something. I fucking need to do something. So what is the next thing that I need to do? You go and get a job interview, and then you realize what you get the job, and now boom, you're in a different environment. Now you're forced to change in accordance to that job. If that job inspires you, if that job lines up with your goals, that is super important, by the way. If it lines up with your goals, if this environment does line up with what you have inside of you, and it lines up with the things that you've expressed in that journal that one day or 1 week ago, well, now boom, from 1 week you're already in a different environment. Now you're forced to change again. Now you're forced to make different decisions. Now you're compelled to do other things that are within the confines of that job. So now at that point, and then let's say months down the road, you don't like that job. So once again, you're compelled to do things. The thing is taking action, man. Life is a fucking adventure. If you sit on the fucking couch all day, you're not going to see any results. You're not going to see any change, and it's going to be fucking boring. So change your environment, do something, take action right away. And that's essentially what I've done with my life. I can literally pinpoint the exact moment where I was sitting somewhere, I forgot, I was laying down, I was like, what the fuck should I do with my life? Things are just not going right. I've tried a whole bunch of things and they're just not working. So what did I do? I literally went to one of the nicest, I went to a skyscraper here, not a skyscraper, this bar, this rooftop bar with a really nice view of the city, and I got to see all the buildings. And on that fucking night, I decided what I want to do. And it inspired me so much, the environment that I was in, to be able to like see the city sky in a place that inspired me, that I was compelled to take action, big action, man. And so that action resulted in me changing environment. That action has resulted now in me getting in a new business environment and being around a whole bunch of like-minded business people. So now I'm even compelled more to be a business-oriented person and have these aspirations. I'm being compelled constantly. There's nothing about I want to do this, so I will. Of course, I want to do these things, but because they're an absolute necessity, I have no other option. And thank God that I've kept in mind the entire time, every time I put myself in an environment, what I want to do. And so at the end of the day, I haven't just forced myself in an environment, I've forced myself into environments that I want. That's how when you want something, you get it, but you get it through taking actions, whether that be different environments and things that compel you to change. If you want something, create a plan or do things, even if you don't have a plan. Take actions that will get you what you want. But how you do that, you have to find things that will compel you to change. And those things are environments and a whole bunch of other things that you can do. So that is my word to you for anyone who says you don't know what to do with your life, right? And you need to take action. When someone tells you to take action, the first thing you can do is change your environment. And then why do you change your environment? Because you have to be compelled enough because that environment will compel you, and you have to be compelled enough to make change, to make a big decision, and to get what you want out of life. So be strategic with it, guys, and that's what I'm going to leave you with today. All right, so just a quick side note. I'm not going to upload you're probably wondering, what first video are you talking about? It doesn't exist. Yeah, I didn't upload it. Why? Because in this video, in the second video, so to speak, I actually discussed a lot of what I discussed in the first video, and it's that first video, I'm just gonna say here, I want this, what I'm filming right now, to serve more so as a reference to give credibility to what I've just said in this video, right? And so I just want to go ahead and say this, which I said in the first video, but now I'm going to tell you in this video. I have seen this principle applied in my life, and this is why I'm talking about it with you, because I'm sharing my experience and something that has occurred to me because I've applied it. And what has happened is that I have been compelled by my new environment to the extent at which I have changed so dramatically that even when I'm speaking right now in English, perhaps some of you who know me will be like, oh man, that doesn't sound like you before, especially if you knew me in high school, man. I wasn't anything like this. I was a shy fucking person, dude. I couldn't speak with so much conviction. I had some conviction, but I couldn't even talk in front of a camera. Now I talk in front of a camera with conviction in English, but that is not even where my change is. The change is in Spanish, around my environment here in Mexico. As if you guys don't know, I've chosen that I wanted to be here in Mexico for a lot of various reasons, and I've seen a huge and drastic change within myself, because I needed to make that change. And I'll say, what are those changes, you're asking? Okay, so it has been to the extent of which I can speak way better in Spanish, to where words are coming to me and I'm learning vocabulary to be able to adapt the ideas that I want to express in Spanish. And as a result, my speaking in Spanish has gotten way better. I can sell, I can present things, I can place myself in environments with very important people and speak with uttermost confidence and without an ounce of nervousness. Things that I couldn't do beforehand, but I have to do now because I've been compelled to do so. And so it's inspired me to talk about this idea because it's something that I've seen in my own life. Even my body language has changed dramatically, actually, I've noticed, to complement or to assist me in making this change that I have no option to make within me. And yeah, so that's essentially what I was mentioning in that first part that I will not upload anymore, because I think I've mentioned it here to give credibility to what I just said and how this principle has applied in my life. So I'll just add that in and hope you guys can do the best with the advice that I've given you and actually apply it. And I hope that after you see this video, you will stand out of your chair or get out of your bed if you're feeling bad or depressed, or even if you're already motivated. You will be compelled with this video that I've just sent you, that you've just seen, to get out there, take an action, and start that chain reaction to change your life for the better. So yeah, guys, take action, do something that compels you, change environment, and I wish you the best. See ya. But wait, I don't just wish you the best. Come back here when you've made that change. Put in the comments that you've applied what I've told you, because you will see a fucking difference if you did. See ya.